Good afternoon and welcome to Inside Politics. My name is Ibok-Ete. President Bola Tinubu's decision to intervene in the political standoff in Rivers State by suspending the governor, Sim Fubara, his deputy, and all lawmakers in the State House of Assembly for 6 months has continued to generate debate in the polity. In a nationwide broadcast, Tinubu said he had received disturbing security reports detailing incidents of vandalization of pipeline by some militants without the governor taking any action to curtail them. He added that he could not allow the grave situation to continue. The president subsequently appointed Ibok-Ete Ibas, who assumed office 2 days ago as the sole administrator of Rivers State. But lawyers and opposition politicians are questioning the legality of the president's action. Yesterday, the NLC in Rivers State said they will embark on protest if the decision is not reversed by the president soon. Today on Inside Politics, we will be discussing this and some other issues in the polity. I'm being joined by Dr. Dayo Kayode. He's a political analyst and also the convener of Nigeria Organic Mobilizers Initiative and the Coalition of Nigerian Stakeholders Forum. Dr. Kayode, good afternoon and welcome to Inside Politics.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine. What's your take on the situation in Rivers State? The president have received so much knock over his decision to appoint the sole administrator for the state.
Yes. Let me start from your synopsis. The first reason you brought out from your synopsis was that there have been incessant pipeline breaking in Rivers State and the governor was not responding.
Yes.
Now, the question is, how many pipelines were broken? How many pipelines? To the best of my knowledge, while he was there, it was one. And it happened overnight. But meanwhile, he was not, Fubara is not in charge of the police, nor in charge of even the pipeline security. The pipeline security has been contracted to a company. But then, did they allow report to be given to Fubara and then Fubara to act upon it? That is one. Number two, there was a reason that, listen, what is happening in the state between you and your legislature, they say you should come and present the budget, do this, do that. Yes, Fubara has started the process, especially as regards the ruling of the Supreme Court. He had removed the chairman of all the local governments. And he wrote to the assembly. He was coming to present the budget. So tell me, what is it that has warranted emergency rule in Port Harcourt? That's number two. Number three, the Supreme Court asked the Accountant General to hold on to the monthly revenue of the state because the governor has not submitted his fiscal budget to the House of Assembly. Now, you disbanded the governor. You disbanded the House of Assembly. You now appointed a sole administrator. Now tell me, where is the assembly that will now approve the budget of that sole administrator to the extent that you are now saying such allocations should be given to the sole administrator?
Yes.
Number four, I think I listened to Seriake Dixon, former governor of Bayelsa State, who is now a senator.
Yes.
He said, and I quote, that on that day the Senate was to approve that emergency rule, that the Senate did not form a quorum. And he challenged anybody to come and challenge him. So, what we have been seeing a series of unconstitutionality being perpetrated on our constitution by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And all these perpetrations, Daokade is saying, they are impeachable offenses. And I am using this video to tell the National Assembly that action should be taken on the President for undermining the sovereignty of our Constitution.
President Speakers, those working the President have said in recent days that the President have the constitutional rights to make sure that there is peace. Because he couldn't have waited till when there is breakdown of law. When there is breakdown of law in order in Rivers State before he acts.
I'm sorry, sir. There are procedures. Before you can proclaim it, you must, first of all, write to the National Assembly and get their approval, even before executing it. But even at that, you have already sworn in the administrator. Before going to the National Assembly. And the Senate is now saying, listen, they did not form quorum when that thing was passed. As of Reps, the same thing, voice vote.
But
is it supposed to be conducted with a voice vote according to the Constitution? No.
Now the President have said this is for 6 months. Maybe even peace is restored to the state. Let's just maybe we should give the sole administrator 6 months. Maybe after 6 months, Fubara and the State House Assembly will return.
It's not about Fubara and House of Assembly. It's about Fubara and Wike, the former governor of that state. It's about Fubara and Wike.
Well, let's look at the crisis that actually started before all this. The way Wike and his godson Fubara now. What is your take in all that happened? Fubara said so many things on why he couldn't agree with Wike and why this crisis lingered, and the State Assembly trying to make a move to impeach him after the Supreme Court judgment. The PDP as a party, don't you think the party will have probably do more to save and resolve the issue between Fubara and Wike?
It is beyond PDP. This issue is beyond PDP. Because if to say the two of them are by heart, I'm not saying by heart, not by act,
yes.
By heart,
yes,
are really PDP members, then something will have been done. But Wike has not been seen himself as totally belonging to PDP. Because here is a guy that campaigned against PDP presidential candidates in 2023 general election. Now, let us go back to the crisis between the two of them. He has his people, his loyalists in the House of Assembly. He put them there.
Yes.
Just as he did for Fubara. On the swearing-in day, Wike had, according to Fubara, and what we have been seeing, Wike had appointed all the commissioners for him. He appointed the chief of staff. He appointed all his personal staff. That is to say, he's turning Fubara to a yes man. Fubara even gave an example whereby he will be traveling out of the state. And those his people will have told him, come on, this man is traveling out of the state. And he will call the guy back. Benny, where are you traveling to? Why should you leave? He said, go back and be doing your work. That one will go back and be doing his work too. There's also another incident given by Fubara. That listen, he was having a meeting with the chiefs from, I think, Okpobo or so. And before you know it, somebody there that we can put it as the watchdog called him and said, listen, this guy is having, he said he has to cut the meeting off abruptly. And the guy wants to be a governor. He wants to be in charge.
Let's look at
but Wike doesn't want to be in charge.
We don't seem to have much time. Let's look at let's look at the genesis of this crisis between Wike and the PDP.
I just told you.
Yes. Let's. Don't you think we saw what Atiku said today in the papers that we knew that where this problem came from was because of he refused to pick Wike as his deputy. And Wike went ahead to work for the APC and President Tinubu's presidential election. Atiku said today that because he chose the former Delta State governor because he emerged as the first candidate of the PDP. Wike was second after the committee that was set up within the PDP. Wike was second. Then Akwa-Ibom State Governor Emmanuel was third. Don't you think Atiku made a mistake in dropping Wike in the first place?
No, you people are looking at it. You people are looking
because the crisis now seems to have.
Wait now, people are looking at the lemongrass on top of the soil. They're not looking at the one underneath. Wike is totally being aggrieved because he had seen himself as the person financing PDP for a while. And unfortunately, he couldn't get the ticket. Because right from the onset, he had been working towards that ticket.
Yes.
3 days that he himself and the Faoshe put in Secondus as the chairman of a PDP.
Yes.
Who they later removed unceremoniously. And then they now brought in Ayu. Running to the convention now. He thought he was going to win that convention. He thought he was going to win the ticket. But when you are talking about somebody who has experience,
yes,
can you compare his political experience with that of His Excellency Abubakar Atiku? You cannot. And at the beginning, he said whatever the result of that primaries, he will abide by it.
But what there seems to be crisis. The crisis in PDP has festered on, and there seems not to be any several efforts to resolve the crisis have not taken any fruitful result. Is this the end of PDP? 2027 is around the corner, and
between you and me, I am a lawyer to the core, a PDP member. And so far, so good. I have been following activities regarding what is happening in PDP. And I can tell you for free that with all intents and purposes, this cannot make the end of PDP. Okay. I am telling you with all frankness. Listen now, this is not the end of PDP. However, you should have been following the political trend.
Yes.
The political trend in the country.
Yes.
You will see that a lot of political gladiators are now talking about coalition. All right? So, where that coalition will end up, somebody like me, who is not with our leaders there, cannot predict. But don't be surprised also. This is politics. You can see what happened between ACN of those days with the NPP and all that. Came together.
What is the chance of that coalition in 2027? What is the chance of that coalition of defeating APC? This coalition I'm talking about now. The PDP may go into that coalition. What is the chance of the coalition defeating the incumbent Tinubu in 2027?
Well, you know, when it comes to politics, it's all about strategy. People will be saying politics is a game of
because it is obvious now that it's obvious now.
About strategy. It's about strategy.
It is obvious now that if the three guys who stood with Tinubu against him in the 2023 general election do not come together to form an alliance, and they want to go solo in 2027. Me and you know that they stand no chance. They stand no chance to defeat him. If they come together, if the coalition can agree and come together, do you think that they stand? Okay.
I have said this. Politics is beyond numbers, as people always say. It has to do with strategies, conceptual strategies. Okay? And I am very sure those people that fought with Tinubu during the last election, they will have gone to their drawing board to look at what happened. Okay. Where did they miss it?
Okay, finally,
the issue of INEC is there. The issue of INEC is there. The issue of guidelines are there. So all these things are going to be conceptually put together to ensure that, yes, they defeat Tinubu come 2027.
Finally, sir, our time is up. What is your take on Rep move, House of Rep to bring our election one day, to amend the constitution and make sure that we have one election in one day?
Well, I like what Ugo-Ete is trying to do, but I will not advise that all elections should be conducted in a day. The presidency and that of governorship can be done in a day. Because that of the governorship, the coalition ends at the state. While that of the presidency, the coalition stops at the central. So you can merge those two together. While the assembly own can also be put on a single day. That means instead of let us put it at 2 different days.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us on the program. I've been speaking with Dayo Kayode. He's the convener of Nigeria Organic Mobilizer Initiative and Coalition of Nigerian Stakeholders Forum. Thanks for being on the program, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure being with you. Thank you very much.
We'll take a short break on Inside Politics. When we come back, we'll be joined by Jendor spokesman. We'll be telling us why Jendor moved from PDP to the APC. Join us.
This is the Business Day television broadcast.
You're still watching Inside Politics on BDTV. I'm Ibok-Ete. Recently, a former governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP in Lagos State, Abdulaziz Adeniran, popularly known as Jendor, returned to the All Progressive Congress, the APC, speaking in a press conference in Lagos. About 2 weeks after leaving the PDP, Jendor said his decision to join the APC was because he wanted to be in a platform that considered winning, not minding who is on the ballot. Before leaving the PDP, he had accused the party of failing to discipline chieftains who work against the party's candidates in the 2023 general election. But many Lagosians are asking why Jendor would choose to return to the APC, a party he has accused in the past of not being democratic in its structure and selection of candidates for election. What chances does he have realizing his political ambition ahead of 2027? I've been joined by Benga Ogunleye, his spokesman for Jendor. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for this privilege. And good afternoon, Nigerians.
Yes. Good to see you. Good to have you on the show, sir.
Same here, sir.
A lot of us were wondering. The other day we saw Atiku was in Lagos. Jendor was there to receive him. Atiku went to Adebanjo family to commiserate them over the death of the statesman. And the next day, he held a press conference that is defecting from the PDP. Then 2 weeks later, he told us he's moving to the APC. Why did he take the decision to move to the APC? Why is Jendor leaving the PDP and moving to the APC?
Thank you very much. Just as His Excellency Dr. Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran said in his press conference, he had waited for 2 years for PDP to do what was right. And while consulting with his political associates and partners, evaluating the readiness, the willingness, and the ability of political platforms for the 2027 election, and even to really play the role expected of political party. Dr. Adediran and his team discovered that it is only the All Progressive Congress, the APC, that seems serious and ready for the core business of politics and governance. Most other political parties are embroiled in one crisis or the other. Some political parties even have individual interests of the party managers have really subsumed the entire interest of the structure. So looking at ground, the reality on ground after the consultation was that APC seems to be the only serious platform for the 2027 election. So that anyone who really have interest in contributing to governance, who really have business interest in being part of governance and contributing towards the enhancement of our people, may end up being in APC.
Many of the supporters probably was thinking Jandor will join the coalition that is being set up now by Atiku and his friends, El-Rufai, and considering the alliance, considering the romance Jandor has with Atiku, a lot of people think that moving to that coalition, maybe they can use the SDP as that platform, will have also been a very good alternative. But we were shocked when Jandor said he's returning back to the APC. Did Jandor at a point consider going with Atiku to that coalition?
Very well. In the course of consultation, Dr. Adediran Jandor had met with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, as you mentioned. He even welcomed him to Lagos, and they had a detailed conversation around this. Dr. Adediran met with the presidential candidate of the SDP in the 2023 election.
Yes.
Met with some other chieftains of the SDP, met with some other prominent politicians who left their own political party. But you see, like I said, even SDP as at now, the presidential candidate in 2023 is already saying that he will be the sole candidate of the SDP in 2027. They are welcoming more people, but they are not going into alliance. Some people, even within the SDP, the national secretary of SDP as of today is already agitating with El-Rufai, claiming they want to shove him aside and all the likes. We have seen this ahead. Look, the coalition, we wish them all the best, but it's not looking good. As at the time we had to take that decision, the coalition was not looking good. So
you have seen that their coalition would fail.
We are not saying it's going to fail. No, we are not saying it's going to fail. What we are saying is that, look, the ingredient that should be there to signal that the coalition will be a credible alternative to APC, we're missing. It is a discussion of individuals, not discussion of parties, not discussion of platforms, not discussion of association. Look, SDP is not discussing only, maybe the national chairman, the national secretary is out. Their presidential candidate in 2023 were out. Some people in SDP were already fighting against coalition. PDP is not discussing, it's Atiku that is discussing. Labour Party is not discussing, it's Peter Obi that is discussing. Can you see? It's about individuals. So unlike what you saw in 2014 or 2013 when APC came together, that a body even inside PDP, about 5 governors or so, came together, joined that discussion, moved with people in the National Assembly and some other individuals. Those are lacking in the current process to coalition.
When
so it's not looking open at all.
When Jandor defected to the PDP in 2022, he said he complained of that the APC was not democratic in nature, the structure, and even the nature of choosing candidate for election was being dictated by only one man. Does that not worry Jandor now that he's going to face the same thing now by going back to the same pot, or the same soup rejected?
I think that Jandor has been able to make a statement by leaving APC to contest election on the platform of the PDP. He has been able to prove himself, and he has been able to, and good numbers of the leaders of APC today seems to agree with him that he should be given a chance. And representing younger elements. Look, this is not only about politics. It is about looking at the younger elements that are coming into politics today. Where are we going to get the voice? When are we going to be recognized to speak out and to stand for what we truly believe in? Now, the APC of today, that is why Jandor have that meeting with His Excellency, the Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic, President Bola Tinubu. And I can give it to you that even the president recognized the resilience and the courage of Jandor to stand for what he truly believes in. Look, it is about governance. It is about people. If it is just about forming an association with people to represent what we claim to be opposition, then we can continue to dissipate energy. But if it is about the people, if it is about governance, it is about the development of the country, then you have to work with a platform, a political platform that is serious to do that. And I can say it again to you today, that APC seems to be the only party that is serious for governance.
When you make that comment, does this not worry you that Nigeria is moving towards, because Nigeria is moving towards a one-party state? I know our time is all, we'll talk fast. If you look at the other opposition party, the NMPP, they are in trouble. Kwankwaso's party, they are in trouble. The BDP is in trouble. The Labour Party is in trouble. And now we've seen several chieftains in the opposition party, the PDP, Labour Party, moving to the APC. Does this not worry you that Nigeria is moving towards a one-party state?
No, Nigeria will never become a one-party state. And my reason
is just what we're seeing.
Our history. It has never happened. The worst case scenario is that you have a strong ruling party and weak opposition. That is the worst case scenario. The opposition party will never collapse and everyone move into the ruling party. It has never happened. Right from the First Republic to date, it has never happened. And it will never happen. It is also good, even for the ruling party, to have a strong opposition in the interest of the people. It is good. However, when the opposition, as it is present today, has been hijacked by individual interest, you see, it is not only about APC influencing the opposition party. That will not be correct. That will not be correct. There are individuals within some of this opposition party who, for own personal interest, pecuniary interest, their own economic interest, would rather want to hold on to a weak opposition party than allow it to become strong to a level where it can compete with the ruling party. They would rather prefer to be a king in a small colony than to be a middle-level man in a bigger entity. So they are satisfied with what they have. They are satisfied. They want to keep their party in that form. And so anyone whose major interest of coming to politics is to add value to governance can never continue to be in such a system that goes nowhere. So that exactly is the concern here.
So what you are assuring Jandor's supporters across Lagos is that by joining the APC, his ambition remains intact. His political ambition remain intact.
100%, as in 100%. Jandor's interest, vision, and aspiration to be governor of Lagos State is still very much alive.
Where does this leave the Lagos for Lagos movement? Is the movement still on? Or you now dissolve into APC? Have you scatter the movement now?
The
Lagos for Lagos movement. Is it still on? Or
yes,
now they have fused with the APC now, does it cease to exist?
The Lagos for Lagos movement is on. It is a movement, is a socio-political platform of Dr. Adediran. And a good number of members of this are totally aligned with Dr. Adediran in this decision to join the APC. You see, we have just joined into the APC. We have been meeting with the leadership of the party across, both from the local to the national level, and there will be a lot of reintegration into the party. But I can tell you, it is a very warm environment for Jandor. Very, very welcoming and warm environment.
Across Lagos State? Across
Lagos State. Of course, every differences prior to 2022 are resolved, and everybody learns from whatever have happened, and we will come stronger and better in the interest of Lagos.
When are we going to see the party in Lagos receive him officially, the APC?
In a couple of weeks. You know, Ramadan is on,
yeah.
And you don't really have much serious activities during this period. So the moment this is over, all these official welcoming and the like will be done. But I can tell you that the leadership of the party has extended so much and of welcoming to Jandor. He has met with a whole lot of them. And permit me to use this opportunity to also condole with our party chairman, Pastor Cornelius Ojelabi, on the loss of his very beautiful wife. It's a very sad and painful development.
Yes.
His Excellency Dr. Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran has identified with him, and it's in our thoughts and prayers that the Lord God will grant the family the fortitude to bear the loss.
Finally,
so these are
developments. Sir, our time is up. Many Nigerians are not really the APC, the ruling party at the central. As you go to the street, ask many Nigerians, they're not really happy with the policies of this administration. We've seen the inflation rate go up. Today we have inflation which is about 23.18%. Unemployment rate is high. People feel that the policies of this administration is not actually favoring Nigerians. Does this not bother you? Does this bother you?
Well, I know that the president and the leadership of APC have good intentions. We are just newly welcomed into the party, and our intention for joining the party is to contribute our quota towards the realization, the success of the renewed hope agenda. We will meet with the leadership of the party. Since we are into the party now, we will see how we can contribute our quota. But I can say it that the good intention of the president and the party for Nigerians will be achieved, and we will also contribute our quota to ensure that that is done. Nigerians should expect the very best from the ruling party.
Thank you very much. Benga Ogunleye is the spokesman for Jandor as the PDP candidate in 2022 general election, who has now defected to the ruling party, telling us why Jandor had to take that move to leave the PDP. Thank you very much, Mr. Benga, for being on the program.
Thank you very much, and God bless you, sir.
Okay. That's Inside Politics for this week. Thanks for joining us. My name is Ibok-Ete. Please join me for next week for more impactful program.
You are watching Business Day Television.